Ibrahim Traore arrived in Moscow, and what happened next stunned the world. From his dramatic arrival to his striking presence at the heart of Russia's most symbolic military celebration, this wasn't just another diplomatic visit. This was history being made before our eyes. What are the hidden moments you missed? What signals did his every move send to world powers watching closely? Let's break it all down. And by the end of this video, you'll understand why Ibrahim Traore is becoming the most talked about African leader on the world stage today. So stay with us, and let us know in the comments which of these 5 shocking moments surprised you most. When Captain Ibrahim Traore, the revolutionary president of Burkina Faso, stepped foot in Moscow on May 9, 2025, the world watched closely, but very few saw what was actually unfolding behind the scenes. This was not just a Victory Day appearance. It was a statement of power, defiance, and geopolitical realignment. Let's start with the first thing most people didn't see: the plane. Unlike many African leaders who arrived in their own presidential jets or through standard diplomatic channels, Ibrahim Traore's arrival stood out immediately. He didn't fly in on a commercial flight or a government-leased jet. He landed in a specially dispatched Russian aircraft, flown directly by the Kremlin. Yes, you heard that right. Russia sent a plane just for him. This wasn't merely about convenience. It was a bold message. Russian President Vladimir Putin was telling the world, and especially France, NATO, and ECOWAS, that Ibrahim Traore is not just an ally. He is a priority. Think about it. Why would Russia use its own aircraft in the middle of ongoing global tensions to bring a 36-year-old African leader into Moscow? Because Traore represents the new wave of resistance against neocolonialism. He is young, fiercely independent, and unafraid to redraw alliances. His flight was diplomatic symbolism at 30,000 feet. And for a leader who has survived 18 coup plots in just 2 years, that special arrival meant one thing: security and trust. Now let's talk about his look. The second shocking thing you probably didn't notice was his outfit. While other heads of state arrived dressed in tailored suits, silk ties, and polished leather shoes, Ibrahim Traore made an entrance in full military camouflage. Not a jacket draped over it. Not a diplomatic blazer. Just raw, unapologetic battle gear. Why? Because it wasn't a fashion statement. It was a warning. Traore wasn't there to impress with elegance. He came to declare that he is still in the trenches, still in the fight, still armed. And that message echoed far beyond Red Square. To his supporters back home in Burkina Faso, it was a reminder that their leader hasn't abandoned the revolution. To his enemies plotting in exile or in neighboring Ivory Coast, it was a show of readiness. He is still a soldier, first and foremost. Which brings us to the third jaw-dropping detail. He came armed. Yes, as cameras rolled and dignitaries shook hands, Ibrahim Traore stood tall, his sidearm clearly visible in a brown leather holster. A loaded pistol, in Moscow, at one of the most watched global events of the year. That sight alone sent social media into a frenzy. No other world leader dared to show up with a weapon visible. But Traore did. Why? Because he knows better than anyone that security isn't just about bodyguards. It's personal. After surviving 18 coup attempts, he carries his survival on his hip. That pistol wasn't just protection, it was symbolism. That Burkina Faso's leadership is not asleep. That the revolution is not soft. That he doesn't just trust his guards, he is his own guard. Some called it defiant, others called it inspiring. But no one ignored it. The fourth shocking thing you missed? The crowd's reaction. Ibrahim Traore wasn't just present in Moscow. He was the center of attention. From the moment he stepped off the Russian plane to the moment he stood alongside President Vladimir Putin, all eyes followed him. Kremlin officials escorted him personally. His military attire, his youth, his calm but assertive demeanor, it captivated everyone. Russian media repeatedly zoomed in on him. Diplomats wanted photos. Journalists scrambled for quotes. Analysts began asking, who is this African leader breaking every rule of protocol with such confidence? Even during the Grand Parade, when the Russian army marched in formation and jets thundered overhead, You could see the camera lens frequently cutting to Traore, unlike many other attendees. And what many didn't realize was this: he wasn't there just to watch, he was there to engage. Which brings us to the fifth, and perhaps most politically significant, shocking moment. Ibrahim Traore had dinner with the world's most powerful leaders that evening. Yes, before the parade, Putin hosted a high-level state banquet in the Kremlin. Seated around that elite table, Chinese President Xi Jinping, Brazilian President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva, Venezuelan President Nicolás Maduro, and yes, Captain Ibrahim Traore. In that room, in that moment, the axis of new global alliances was clear. A quiet message echoed across continents. The global South is talking. Without Western permission. African stories go global. Help us in pushing the message forward as we continue to inspire, educate, and empower. Subscribe now, like, and share our videos, and don't forget to hit that notification bell for our next videos. Now let's continue. Traore was not just shaking hands, he was networking. He shared light moments with President Umaro Sissoco Embalo of Guinea-Bissau, another African leader who just expelled ECOWAS troops and is tilting towards sovereignty. He spoke with Mnangagwa of Zimbabwe, El Sisi of Egypt, and the legendary Teodoro Obiang Nguema Mbasogo of Equatorial Guinea. The generational gap between Traore and Obiang is over 50 years, but here they were, equals at the table. One, Africa's youngest revolutionary. The other, Africa's longest-serving ruler. And Traore was not just in the room, he was holding his own. Now let's zoom out. What does all of this mean? First, Traore's visit to Moscow tells the world that Burkina Faso is no longer on the geopolitical margins. It's central, it's vocal, it's proud. Under his leadership, the country has rejected French domination, expelled Western troops, and embraced a doctrine of self-reliance. Russia's Victory Day parade became an unlikely but powerful platform for Traore to show the world that Africa is rising, and not under anyone's shadow. Second, the visit confirms Russia's commitment to the Sahel. The deployment of Russian commandos to protect Traore after previous coup plots wasn't just a favor, it was an investment. Russia sees Traore as a long-term partner, one who is helping reshape the balance of power in West Africa. His inclusion at the dinner table, his Russian plane arrival, and his bilateral talks with Putin all underscore that the relationship goes beyond photo ops. This is strategy. This is realignment. Third, Ibrahim Traore's message to young Africans couldn't have been clearer. He is 36. He carries a gun. He stands with giants. And he doesn't flinch. That symbolism alone has made him a hero for many across the continent. In Burkina Faso, in Mali, in Niger, and even among diasporas in Europe and America, young Africans are watching and drawing inspiration. A leader who dares, a leader who stands tall in a world of compromise. Now you may ask, wasn't it risky for Traore to attend such a high-profile event, especially after Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky warned that Moscow might not be safe for guests? Yes, the risks were real, but that's what makes it even more remarkable. Traore didn't just attend. He owned the moment. He turned what could have been a footnote into a front-page headline. In the end, here's the biggest shocker that many still haven't grasped. Ibrahim Traore didn't just attend Victory Day. He stole the show. The images of him in military fatigues, pistol-strapped, standing beside world leaders, beaming under the Moscow skies, those will stay in the global memory long after the parade is over. What do you think? Was Traore right to wear his pistol? Was Putin's gesture of sending a special plane overkill or a masterstroke? And more importantly, is this the new face of African leadership? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Which of these 5 moments surprised you most? And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share if you believe this story deserves to be seen by more people. Because in a world of scripted diplomacy, Ibrahim Traore is rewriting the playbook, one bold move at a time. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video. Before we continue, welcome to Azizi Africa, where we bring the African vision to life and make. If you believe in an Africa that rises on its own terms, If you support this movement for self-reliance, dignity, and progress, then be part of the change. Like this video, share it far and wide, and let the world know that a new Africa is here. And of course, make sure to subscribe to Izizi Africa, where we bring the African vision to life and make African stories go global. Hit that notification bell so you never miss an update on the transformation